Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Pearlescent Cup. It is North America versus Nippon, or as it's colloquially known here, Japan, representing Japan in the top right corner of Everdream. It's the Red Terran, Notakon, as it's colloquially known here, Japan, representing Japan in the top right corner of Everdream. It's the Red Terran, Notakon. And in the bottom left for North America, as the pink Zerg, it's the Lord of Pizzas, Starkiller. I'm really honored to be here today. I love Japan, and my good friend Pearl invited me to cast this event for you guys, but she put in the work for this. He had some advisors, but this is a really cool thing of her to do, bringing notoriety to the players of Japan who are not really well known on the world stage as a whole. Japan has certain laws that restrict esports in their country, and there's a lot of wonderful people there who just we don't always get to see all the time. Notakon, the best result I could find for him recently was finishing in second place for the Japanese qualifiers for WESG 2019. Starkiller is perhaps best known for his run in the Pizza Bi-Weekly, where I do believe he's still reigning champion with the most pizzas. I think he was dethroned for like a couple weeks by Future or something weird, but you know, that's kind of how he got his start, kind of his claim to fame, but he has earned that fame, winning or placing highly in many other tournaments representing Alpha X throughout the past few years. We have standard openers from both players. Notakon is off to a really good start, forcing 2 Spore Crawlers. At this level of play, it's really hard to get any damage at all done with the Reaper. You know, both players are usually so good with their micro that it comes to a standstill. Starkiller is approaching a dangerous point in the game, and that is the 3-minute 20-second mark. At the 3-minute 20-second mark, it's what I like to call the point of no return to take a third. If we don't see a third in the next few seconds here, Starkiller is going to be 2-base all-inning the Japanese player. Notakon has a 1-1-1 on the field. He is massing Hellions for some harassment against the Zerg economy. The Reaper has scouted the lair. This is a double elimination tournament with a gigantic prize pool. $200 US are on the line. You guys can support that prize pool by hitting up the Matcherino and entering the code there. It's NAV Nippon. Make that prize pool even bigger. Notakon zooms toward the Zerg, but Starkiller has a rock-solid wall-off. Has a Roach Warren up, and he's gone double Evo Chamber. The lair is about to finish now. We see Ranged and Carapace under development for the Swarm. Notakon has dropped a Fusion Core. It's quite operational. This Viking is going to pop, and he is going to start up a Battle Cruiser. Now, Battle Cruiser... Wait, he didn't start the Battle Cruiser! He's making a second Viking! Okay, I'm a little bit weirded out. Okay, he canceled the Viking. He's gonna start up a Battle Cruiser now. Nodokan is going to struggle to find damage here. The queens are not too far out of the wall. There's a concave of roaches here to meet the Hellions. Nodokan won't bleed off any Hellions in damage, but he is going to be forced to go home. He's also going into Marauders. Now, as I was saying a little bit earlier, so Banshee openers are actually in style, in fashion this spring. Not so much the Battlecruiser, but Nodokan playing a little bit of an older style that we saw at the end of 2019, early 2020, with these BC openers. He has two options. He can run the Zerg down, basically, by teleporting across, or he can walk it across the map and teleport back home when the BC is injured. This is the safer option from Nodokan. We might see the Hellions move out to try and attack at a different angle as the Battlecruiser crashes into the Zerg third, but it's going to be hard for Nodokan to get damage done. Starkiller just has a rock-solid defense. This is like Turtle Zerg, man. A Viking goes down as well for a Terran. This Battlecruiser looks very battered, very injured, but it can always teleport home at a moment's notice. I mean, the Hellion run-by is having much more success. On the other side, it gets about 10 drone kills. I do believe the BC blinks home there. These Hellions are a little bit far out on the map. BC did make it out safely. Starkiller's going for a counterattack, but does he have the forces he needs to break through here? I don't think that he does. Even with these reinforcements coming up from the back, Hellbats will absolutely shred the Hydralisks if the Roach Shield falls, and there's a lot of Marauders in the mix for Nodokan. So Nodokan took quite a bit of damage militarily, but Starkiller was not able to get in on the SCVs, really. Only 3 of them fell there. The tank survived in the background, and the 2 BCs are still in the air, ready to gain even more value. The Terran, Starkiller takes a 4th out front at the high-yield expansion. Nodokan starts up his own 4th CC, and basically, Starkiller during that last engagement just did not have enough forces to go into the tank line. It would have been foolhardy. He might have gotten this forward tank, but the reinforcements from Nodokan would have cleaned him up. So we're going to go back to macroing for both players. Nodokan's getting out Yamato Cannon, getting out vehicle weapons. And from here on out, Nodokan is going to keep sending these battlecruisers out, probably try and get a cancel on what he thinks is the Zerg's outlying bases. We're actually going to see these BCs clean up some creep tumors, and that's pretty good value. That's like 6 creep tumors going down. The Hydralisks... Oh my god, the Hydralisks actually get a BC. Will they get a second one? It needs to blink. It needs to blink now! It doesn't blink! Both BCs get gunned down by the Hydra. Starkiller intercepts a 4 Hellion drop into his main. It's a... I mean, Nodokan is just trying to hurt the Zerg economy as best he can. Loses the medevac. But his army is still standing strong. Thors are on the field now for Notakon. He's going this full mech composition that Starkiller is going to have to react to with spellcasters. And we see those spellcasters on the field now eating their own hatchery. He's got to be careful. Yeah, you might want to go after the extractor there, because man, can Vipers burn down a building quickly. If only they could eat opposing buildings, you know? But unfortunately, they gave that ability to the Corruptor. Starkiller has his Hydralisks in a concave. And these yoinks from Starkiller are totally on point. Without those abducts, the Terran wins that engagement 10 times out of 10. But Starkiller just grabbed and grabbed and grabbed every unit in the Terran army, pretty much. It's 120 supply to 44. Starkiller's gonna go back home, convert his own hatchery back into energy. And this is now a 60 army supply Terran against a maxed out Zerg. It's unlimited Hydra and Vipers in the air. This tank line on the high ground looks formidable, but it gets picked to pieces against the forces of the Zerg. GG is called, and Starkiller takes our first game in the best of 3. Oop. That. Hey guys, me, Renegade. We're gonna get into game number 2 very shortly. In the bottom left, representing Japan, it's the Red Terran, Notakon. And in the top right corner, moving in for Alpha X, representing North America, it's the Pizza God, Starkiller. Well, there you see it on the screen from Pearl. Match arena code. NA vs Nippon. Notakon coming out with a series of proxy barracks. Proxy barracks. I think barracks is the plural of barrack. Wait. No. No, barracks is the singular and the plural, right? Oh my god. I'm overthinking language I've used for like 20 years. What is this? So Starkiller has the first point on the board, but Notakon's proxy racks has gone unscouted. However, Starkiller did open pool first. He has 6 lings barreling across Zen. Marine count's increasing, but Starkiller is in the wall. These Lings are connecting kills, but most importantly, they're stopping the SCVs from mining. That's going to harm the amount of forces Notakon can bring to the front. The Lings will eventually lose this battle unless Notakon severely mismicros, but Notakon will take casualties. Notakon isn't bothering to fight. He's going super all in. He's pulling the boys to help out the Marines. Every second that passes is another tick towards the doom of Notakon. He isn't really mining here. Wait, is he though? Okay, I was worried he was just gonna let his SCVs return home. The meat shields move to the front to try to block Queen Fire. The Spine Crawler puts in damage on the Marines. The SCVs engage without the Marines. Support them, GG is called. And Starkiller takes the series 2-0, knocking Notakon to the lower bracket. Oh no, that's the wrong splash screen. Go men the Sai. No, no, this one. We want this one. Thank you. Thank you. The ever-encroaching OBS disconnect. Okay, in the top right corner of Everdream. You guys didn't miss any action. You just missed part of the splash screen. As the Pink Protoss, representing North America, it's Dr. Ryan. And in the bottom left, as the Blue Terran, for Nippon, known colloquially as Japan, it's the Blue Terran, Psyarch. Psyarch is perhaps widely regarded as one of Japan's finest players. The score is currently 1-1, which is a demonstration of that as he takes on Dr. Ryan. If any of you are catching the stream and you'd like to hear the cast in its native Japanese, check out my friend Horiken. We're on twitch.tv/HurricaneSC2. Dr. Ryan deflects the Reaper with ease. He's not going in the base anytime soon. He's chrono boosting out a Stalker, going into Robotics Facility. Widowmine. It's coming out for Psyarch, so it looks like he's gearing up for a Widowmine drop, building the starport. He's gonna get out about 3 of these suckers, load them into a medevac, and drop them on the probe line of the Protoss. This serves a twofold purpose. Of course, it creates a scenario where if your opponent misplays, you can get large amounts of worker damage done. However, you know, the reliable purpose is to scout out your opponent and keep him back at home. Nina! Hey, what's up? Oh my god, thank you so much for the raid, Nina. Rafira, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. I normally kill the browser source if it's in the heat of battle, but hey, we were just following the Reaper along the corners of the map. Dr. Ryan is warping in, reinforcing Stalkers as he moves out for a 2-base push. Thank you for the follow, Discharge SC. Thanks for the follow, Nightcrawler. Wouldn't Mind Shot was about as good as it could be, but it wasn't enough. Dr. Ryan is going to push up the ramp. Oh my... SCVs come down the ramp to fight. There's only a couple Marines here to defend, though, for Psyarch. He's buying time for a tank to get out, but there's still a lot of time left. Cloak is coming out for a Banshee that just isn't here as well. The tank has been bought enough time to get out, but it can't deploy in time. The Stalkers are going to be right on top of it. Repair is dropped on the tank, but Dr. Ryan focuses it down. It's in the red, and that volley will seal its face. GG is called. And Dr. Ryan takes the best of 3 with a 2-1 score.
Meow?
Hey, thanks for the follow, Solaris CS. I guess I have to move this now, huh? Where should I put it?
Meow?
Let's put you over here. Mantonioag. Thanks for the follow. So, let's check out the bracket here. Exclamation B in the chat if you want to follow along. If you're looking for Noticon versus Starkiller, we just covered that. So it looks like Starkiller, Kawaiian, Dr. Ryan, and Caleb Arrakis have all moved on to round 2. In the upper bracket, Psyarch went down 2-1. Caleb Arrakis got a walkover over Vice Ravana. Starkiller 2-0 over Noticon, and Kawaiian walkover over Albion. We got any Zerg? Let's see. I hope you had a good stream, Nina. No, don't raid. Edit stream info. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope your days went well. Or I guess I hope your afternoons are going well, depending on your time zone. Put an S in that. Let me... Sorry. If you guys want to help out with this tournament, make sure you put in the code NA versus Nippon, 10 or 50 cents into the prize pool. Sure, Pearl would really appreciate that. $170. Oh my god. It is getting up there. Okay, we're getting ready for the next match. Loading in. And we're ready to go. On the right side of Golden Wall, as the pink Protoss, it's Dr. Ryan. And on the left, as the red Zerg, it's Caleb Arrakis. NA versus NA. Here in round 2 of the winner's bracket. And Caleb Arrakis solemnly swears he's up to no good as he immediately mines out the mineral wall in the middle of the field. Dr. Ryan dropping the GLHF. Little does he know what's coming his way. Dr. Ryan is repping Exxon Esports. Caleb Arrakis is repping Icebound. Exxon's a newer team on the scene, headed up by Dricket. He's been collecting his Pokemon, I mean players, and they've been having pretty good tournament results all over the StarCraft scene. Icebound's a little bit of an older team. So, Caleb Arrakis has begun to mine out the mineral wall to his opponent's main, utilizing his proxy hatch for speedier mineral delivery, or at least you'd hope so. They kind of took a coffee break there. And all of these drones can, of course, be converted into spine crawlers as needed to push into the Protoss main. Dr. Ryan is blissfully unaware of what's happening outside his main base. This is a full NA game. Oh! He saw, with his scouting probe, that there was a hole in the wall in the middle of the map, and he immediately figured out what was up. Dr. Ryan needs to prepare a defense. Quickly, he sends the Adept back to go deal with this encroaching proxy hatch. However, that's going to leave his front wall vulnerable. A lot of health has been shaved off of this gateway. The Stalker will come out to help on that front. Probe is picked off. At the proxy hatchlings are now closing in from that hatchery. The Stalker spawns outside of the wall. It will get picked off, but it did buy Dr. Ryan a little bit of time. Not sure that was the best tactical decision. The gateway falls. Lings are in the base. They pick off the probe. Lings are going after the cyber core now. An Immortal's being chrono boosted out for Dr. Ryan. GG is called. Caleb Arrakis takes game number 1. Absolutely filthy. So, you might notice that the prize pool amount changed. So, Pearl has fronted $100 for this tournament. It's going to be $75-25 between first and second place. And any codes you enter will go on top of that with that level of split. She just didn't want to over-excite everybody. But it's already at $170, so this is going to be a $200 tournament pretty much. For all sakes and purposes. We are in the next lobby. While we wait for them. Wait, am I lobby host somehow? No, we're good. It's Cool Deanne. Okay, so no other results to report right now. Psyarch still facing Vice Ravana in Notakon, facing Albion in the lower bracket. Starkiller Kawaiian still happening in the upper bracket. And of course, we're covering Dr. Ryan versus Caleb Arrakis. In the top right corner of Eternal Empire, as the pink Protoss, representing Exxon, it's Dr. Ryan. And in the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, it's Caleb Arrakis. It's NA versus NA, as both these players fight to go into the winners finals. Caleb Arrakis took game number 1 with a dirty, filthy proxy hatch outside the main of his opponent on Golden Wall, mining out the mineral wall and overwhelming with Zerglings. Okay. I've never seen anyone use that spray before. Kinda caught me off guard a little. It looks like it's just like disapproving of the Overlord. So Caleb Arrakis went hatch first. Dr. Ryan is walling off as normal. No forges in sight, just a gate cyber. So, on a map as large as Eternal Empire, we're gonna see both these players at least try and take thirds. Oh no! Dr. Ryan. Okay. He unsupply blocked himself. I was gonna say, it was almost a wasted chrono boost. Caleb took his third lake. Right on time. Dr. Ryan is going to open with a Robo, a Twilight, and a Dark Shrine. Two more gateways go down as well. And everything's scouted here. Everything's totally scouted. Caleb Arrakis knows what's up. He's going for a Roachhorn, going for a Lair. We should see safety spores within the next 30 seconds. Well, probably not within the next 30 seconds, like around 25 to 30 seconds from now. He doesn't just pull the risky maneuver of hoping his lair finishes in time and then just going directly for Overseers. Dr. Ryan claims his opponent's Xel'Naga Watchtower for himself, and these Xel'Nagas are so important. If you're a lower level player, pay attention in pro games how many resources are used just to take over the Xel'Naga towers. You can see so many attack paths just from having a unit there. Doc Ryan goes into the choke point. He's gonna bleed off an Adept. He bleeds off a second Adept. Oh! He's trying so hard for the snipe on the third, and he gets it. He will lose the Warp Prism. He lost every DT for it. That definitely could have been cleaner, but Dr. Ryan achieved his goal of picking off the third. What you really want to do, if at all possible, is pick off the third with your DTs, back out with a Warp Prism, morph in 2 Archons, and move in with a double Adept drop to keep the Zerg at home, keep him preoccupied. But, hey, Dr. Ryan got half the job done, and I think he's going to be feeling quite secure after that. He is getting 4 more gateways. Now, Dr. Ryan's going to be thinking about getting a third or thinking about going for a 2-base push. Given that he's sending a probe out, I think we're going for a third. Caleb Arrakis jumps on the probe with the Overseer. He drops a Changeling in the main. He just wants to make sure he's correct on what's up. He sees that Forge whirring away, researching +1. And that, on its own, in connection with the probe, is going to be enough information for Caleb Arrakis to know what his opponent's strategy is. For a Zerg player, going for Roach speed, going for Link speed, and going for +1 ranged weapons. More DTs are warping in for Dr. Ryan. This could be a hit squad. It could also be a couple Archons to bolster the army. Given their positioning on the map, it looks like they're going to be a hit squad to try and deal some damage to the Zerg economy once again. Caleb Arrakis is going to either throw down a late 4th base down here at the high yield gas, or go for a 52 drone Ravager all in. Roach Ravager. Normally it's like Baneling Roach Ravager, but I don't think we're going to see the Baneling nest. That might be what's cut here. Dr. Ryan moves onto the map. He's not going to commit here, right? He's already ahead economically. Oh, he's just distracting for the DTs. Okay, so this is not an attack by any means. I mean, sure, he's going to poke in and see if Caleb Arrakis makes a major mistake, but the DTs cut down a few more drones, and now Dr. Ryan's up 14 workers. The Protoss is out on the map, maintaining control. All the DTs go down, and Dr. Ryan's just going to keep expanding his league. His league? How about his lead? +1 is now on the field. He's going to start up +2. Caleb Arrakis is going for a Spire play. He's going to try and make... Okay. It's a charge lot on DT. 1 drone in exchange for that Zealot's life. I think this is going to be Muta from Caleb Arrakis, right? Because he doesn't have this 4th up yet. It's really late. It's going to be hard to transition into late game. With that Baneling nest being dropped, he's going to have to invest in Baneling speed, probably. However, Dr. Ryan is already going into double Stargate. That means he can just pump out Phoenix and counter any Mutalisk play that may be on its way. He can start getting into late game if he wants to, get into Carriers, get into Tempest, get out a Mothership. And Caleb Arrakis is kind of stuck back here. This is not an attacking army. He'd have to catch Dr. Ryan out on the map and then counterattack, cut down the reinforcements, and continue pressing forward without being cut down by force fields, without, you know, a recall going off, saving most of the army. He just can't do that, so he's going to have to rely on macro to get him back into this game. But he's already well behind in that department. Phoenix Force is out in force. Did anyone see that? +2 was like glitched. It like had nothing on the bar and now it's at half bar. It did start up a couple minutes ago, so that was really weird. Blink is halfway done for Dr. Ryan as well. Caleb Arrakis has stabilized. He is maxed out. He's getting a couple more Overseers. He has some Banelings with this army. He's up to 70 workers, finally taking the economic lead. But Dr. Ryan does have that +2 hitting the field. He does have Blink about to finish. And he does have a Templar Archives about to finish as well. He's going to start researching Storm, which is going to help him out against the Banelings. Looks like Caleb Arrakis is going to move out from 2 different angles and meet up here. As he pushes into Dr. Ryan's 4th. Dr. Ryan isn't even going to bother to defend that. A lot of lesser Protoss would push out, try to defend that base, and lose their entire army. But not Dr. Ryan. Hey! Thank you so much for the gift sub, Tina. Caleb Arrakis connected 2 Biles. Dr. Ryan dodges the next 2. And, I mean, it's just been auto attacks for the most part, right? There were a couple force heals. They were okay. Dr. Ryan's gonna hold on. And I think Caleb Arrakis... I think Caleb Arrakis came out ahead in that fight. I think I'm willing to call that. Dr. Ryan sending harassment units out all over the place, but Caleb Arrakis is on top of them. However, while Dr. Ryan is behind an army supply, he's going... Whoa! I haven't seen these carriers in a while. That's so cool. Yeah, the classic carrier skin. Dr. Ryan is going into these very high-value carriers. He's going into +3 ground weapons as well. Armor is coming out. And this is a good play, but he has to hold on in the meantime. This 4th base is going to get canceled again, I think. There's not much ground army as Dr. Ryan invests into these big, expensive carriers that will pay off over the long run, but are going to kind of be a burden in the short term over the next minute and a half or so. Dr. Ryan has started to go into Corruptors. He doesn't have the most in the sky yet. So many Banelings are going to connect here. Pretty much the entire ground army is cleaned up for Dr. Ryan. Did he do enough damage? Biles hurt the carriers. Biles hurt the Immortals even more. Oh, man. Those Biles connecting are really, really, really bad for Dr. Ryan. He still has 2 carriers in the air. He has cleaned up the Corruptors, and the Phoenix are going to get lifts on these Ravagers. Really smart from Caleb Arrakis, dropping Biles, forcing the Phoenix to reposition. But it's not going to be enough. Every single Ravager does get picked off. Caleb Arrakis did have a bank behind this, so he's going to get 16 Millings. He's going to go more heavily into Corruptor. Dr. Ryan is still increasing his carrier count, though, and like I said earlier, he did have to hold on, but hold on he did. Now, Doc Ryan is in a little bit of trouble. He really, really, really needs to take this 4th base, but with this nice carrier army, he might be able to do so soon. Caleb Arrakis, in the meantime, has taken a 5th and will be taking a 6th base as he takes another high-yield gas location. These Phoenix have proven their worth as they go in, clean up some Overlords that will supply block Caleb Arrakis. I think Dr. Ryan might just man-mode the Spore Crawler. Okay, he does for a little while. Discharge saying, Doc has a lot less workers than Caleb, so I'm trying to predict who will win. I agree. It's been very, very close. There's no one, like, clearly with an insurmountable lead. +1 air weapons are coming out for the Zerg. +2 ground range on the way for the Zerg as well. Dr. Ryan just producing these carriers 3 at a time. He's finally taken his 4th base. He's going to be thinking about a 5th Nexus very soon here, and we're heading into ultra late game ZVP. Once we hit the 17.5-minute mark, things are going to get out of control. Caleb Arrakis really isn't investing in spellcasters a whole lot. He's dropping a ton of changelings, moving them out to get vision for his army. Okay, he's got a Viper over here. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's the only one I saw in the production tab. Caleb's getting another Spire, just for the heck of it. He's gonna start getting armor upgrades along with his air upgrades. Doc Ryan is approaching max out. One more production wave from the Stargates if he wants it, and he'll be there. I think this is about as close as he wants to get, though, because he's going to want to have small weapons of units for tactical defense or for harassment. So much creep on the map here from Caleb Arrakis. Dr. Ryan's going to start pushing it away from his doorstep. He's like, what the heck? Let's just push it back farther. Spine crawlers are limiting damage these charge lots can do. They did get 3 worker kills, so that's pleasant. Caleb Arrakis sends in a hit squad of roaches. He's going to try and shut down Dr. Ryan's 5th base. Caleb Arrakis has been so good about limiting the amount of bases the Protoss had. And remember, Dr. Ryan was ahead going into the mid-game, so the fact Caleb Arrakis has clawed his way back into this game is pretty astounding. It was never, it wasn't a massive lead, but Dr. Ryan was ahead about 15 minutes ago. 13 minutes ago-ish. That's a lot of Broodlords. Did he leave enough Corruptors to engage this? Is my question. I think so. I think... with the amount of Neural Parasite Caleb Arrakis has, he's going to be fine with the amount of Fungal. Dr. Ryan is shoring up his defense of the 5th base with some cannons. Why is he sending the Infestors in with this attack squad? Okay, I think that was a mistake. Yeah, these Infestors are way out of position to engage the Protoss unless this is a high IQ surround. A lot of the Spore Crawlers will get picked off. They're trading out for Interceptors! The Infestors are on their own! That's a huge fungal, but there's nothing to capitalize, and all the infestors are getting picked off! Wait, does he not have Neural Parasite? He does. Why didn't he use Neural Parasite? Not like this? So much infestor energy just disappeared from the map. 7 more infestors are in production, but they're not going to have the full energy bars that the ones that just died did. So now, Caleb Arrakis is on almost entirely Corruptor Broodlord. He abducts 1 carrier, but that's the only abduct he has right now. His gas bank isn't looking so hot. Only 400 there. He's going for 30 workers. That was a pretty good fungal, but not good enough. Dr. Ryan escapes from creep. He's sending in charge lots all over the place. They take out a queen. Looks like they're going to get a Ravager kill at least. No, they actually... Did they win this engagement? I think they... yeah, they do. Pierre is saying, I believe it's pronounced GG, Lords. Yeah, well... We're 23 minutes into this game. It might be GG, but I have a feeling we're gonna go at least to the 25-minute mark before that happens. It was really smart of Caleb Arrakis to bring in an Overseer, help them take out the DTs. Dr. Ryan is now expanding down onto Caleb Arrakis' side of the map. I feel like this is a much safer base. These are good fungals. The infestors were allowed to have some time to collect energy. The Broodlords are shelling the ground army. These Corruptors are waiting to pounce. Neural Parasite has been dropped. The Corruptors move in. So many Neural Parasites here. The Corruptors are doing their work. 3 carriers will get picked off before all the infestor energy is used up. Dr. Ryan's fleet has been decimated. There is a mothership coming out back at home, but it's not here to help right now. There's like 6 interceptors left. Okay, he finally drops the recall. Stalkers move in to soften these guys up. But they need to run before the Broodlords close in on them. F in the chat. These Corruptors get a little bit overzealous. They pick off the Nexus with the Lings, though. GG is called, and Caleb Arrakis takes the series 2-0, knocking Dr. Ryan down to the lower bracket. Let me refresh the bracket. Psyarch eliminated Vice Ravana 2-0. Moved on to round 2 of the lower bracket. Albion 2-0 over Notakon. On to round 2 of the lower bracket. Starkiller took out Kawayan. He's going down to that lower bracket to face Psyarch. And Caleb Arrakis sent Dr. Ryan down to face Albion. Starkiller and Caleb Arrakis are going to face off in a ZVZ in the winner's semifinals. That's also going to be a best of 3. The winner will then move on to the grand finals, which are going to be a best of 5. Make sure you guys check out the match arena. Let me do a refresh arena. Still sitting strong at $170. Make sure you put in the code. It adds 50 cents at no cost to yourself. They don't do anything. You just log in, put in the code, and that's it. And then if you want to check out the sponsor quests on the side, those will also help you out, including following Alpha X SC2 to add 15 cents to the prize pool. If you want to see the matches going on in the lower half of the bracket, make sure you check out twitch.tv/HurricaneSC2. Let me see if I can find the links here. I probably should have put those into Nightbot. That probably been a good idea. While we have some down time. Let's edit our assets. Get a brief cameo by Swarmonomics. Why did it do that? It's NA versus Nippon. I don't know why it keeps changing back to that. Thanks, Nightbot. I'm literally staring at it, and it doesn't say that on the page. On the right side of Purity and Industry has the Blue Zerg from Icebound Esports. It's Caleb Arrakis. And at the top of the map, Opening with a pull first. It's the Teal Zerg from Alpha X, Star Killer. I don't... Making Spore, okay. He's very clearly not making a Spore. He's pulled a drone with this attack as well. Lings are coming out. He might be referring to... He might make a Spore Crawler and try to intercept the Overlord of Caleb Arrakis, but he hasn't done so. Looks like this is going to be a Spine in the natural once that base finishes. Here comes the Ling Flood from Starkiller. Caleb Arrakis has pulled the boys. He knows he's safe to pull the whole drone line. Well, I mean, I don't know that he should have pulled this many. Because he saw that Starkiller had expanded. If there's no expansion behind this, it does mean Banelings. Yeah, Starkiller's gonna drop a Spine Crawler. In ZVZ, Starkiller's known for these weird, innovative builds that only he does, and this appears to be one of them. Caleb Arrakis, with a really good engagement, he constantly kept a concave against the Lings of Starkiller that could have gone totally the other way, but Caleb stopped Starkiller from focusing any of his units, any of his drones, kept backing out and moving in very slightly. He bought time for the Queen to come out, and it was a very clean hold from our Blue Zerg. Starkiller threw down a Spine of his own. He's going pretty Queen heavy. I guess expecting a counterattack from Caleb Arrakis. I mean, Caleb Arrakis poked out, but didn't really launch an attack. And it's also very interesting to note that neither player has Ling Speed even started 4 minutes into a ZVZ. Starkiller isn't even mining gas. He's trying to get his tech out before he throws down those extractors. Caleb Arrakis gets a third base, and Caleb Arrakis is mining gas. He is going to use that to invest in Zergling speed at the 420 mark. Starkiller gets a scout of what's going on. He sees the shimmer in the pool. He knows that's what this gas has been thrown into. He doesn't see another 2 geysers. So he's going to feel confident in his plan for a little while. Starkiller's gotten 4 gases up on his own. Caleb sees this wall. Now, Caleb does have a third base, but that's like all Caleb has. He's gone very low tech this game. He's finally getting a lair, but he's just not going to catch up to Starkiller in the Roach Wars. So I think we might see a Spire from Caleb Arrakis, but the question that I have is, how does Caleb Arrakis hold the aggression that Starkiller is going to unleash on him? Starkiller's getting his own lair. It's almost certainly for Roach speed. We have +1 and Carapace started up for our Teal Zerg. There's Roach Speed for Starkiller, and as I have foreseen, it's going to be a Spire out of Caleb Arrakis. Will Starkiller hit and hit with enough force before these Mutalisks can really pay off for Mr. Arrakis? Caleb knows the inevitable push is coming. He's going for a Spinecrawler defense. Ravagers are morphing in, but that Spire is 70% done for the darker blue Zerg. And this is the Doomsday attack from Starkiller. Caleb Arrakis did get his Mutalisks out in time to engage this, but what Starkiller is going to do is split up everywhere and deal as much damage as he can before all these roaches die. This pack of roaches is not doing a very good job of it right now. Okay, they got their stuff together, stopped running around like hooligans, and started focusing the static defense that Caleb Arrakis is scrambling to create. The Mutalisks are cleaning up the other pack of errant roaches. Starkiller did bring reinforcements, though, and it looks like he will get the kill on the natural. The Spire is about to fall, as is the spawning pool. Caleb Arrakis is going for a last-ditch Ling run-by. These queens have so much transfuse, and there's roaches to back them up. Starkiller slaughters the first wave to a man. The second wave comes in. Will continue engaging those queens. Starkiller's been cleaned up on the other side of the map. It looks like Caleb Arrakis is going to try and stay in this game. He still has a hatch, he still has some static defense, and he still has one saturated drone line. He has Mutalisks in the air, and it's going to take a little bit of time before Starkiller can effectively move out with his anti-air. Caleb's trying to diminish the queen count, but there's a couple transfuses. Takes out the Spore. Starkiller isn't focusing the Mutalisks. Okay, he got one. With the Hydra coming out, 2 Mutas have fallen. W is called. And Starkiller takes game number 1 in the best of 3. W. Once again, thank you to Pearl for putting in $100 of her own e-gaming credits and making this tournament happen. I'm casting mostly the NA boys tonight, it seems, but it's really cool. You know, the other two channels are showcasing the Japanese talent on display here, and we will check in with the bracket after this coming game. In the bottom left corner of Eternal Empire, As the blue Zerg, it's Caleb Arrakis. And in the top right, as the pink... pink? Why did I say pink? Why did I look at the screen and be like, yeah, that's pink. That's as the teal Zerg, it's Starkiller. Starkiller has the first point on the board. Both players are going hatch first. Starkillers goes down much earlier than Caleb Arrakis is. I could tell you guys what this build is going to do, but I don't want to ruin the suspense. So we'll watch it unfold as I create the narrative. Look at that. Look, it's casting at its finest. Isn't that incredible? So you'll notice Caleb Arrakis' pool went down like 15 seconds later or so than Starkiller's. His is already halfway done. Now, Starkiller looks like he went a normal hatch first. But if you look at the drone count, it's significantly fewer for Starkiller. He is going to bank his larva and send out an attack wave of Zerglings. He's even going to transfer some workers to make it look like he has a normal drone count, because this Overlord is not going to overextend into the main base. Starkiller's going to send his lings around the corner and try to sneak them by the Overlord. Eight more lings are about to pop. Okay, 2 show themselves. More and more lings are coming out for Starkiller. Caleb Arrakis needs to figure out what's going on with these scouting Zerglings. Starkiller sending the lings out. They will get scouted by the Overlord. But is it too late for Caleb Arrakis? I don't think it's too late for Caleb Arrakis. I think he's going to hold Wave 1 of the aggression. Wave 2 is going to arrive. He has to buy enough time for these Banelings to finish up if he wants to continue engaging. He's only got 4 lings in production. No, he moves the queens. Okay. It's calculated. He's going to let the Banelings out. One of them totally whiffs. These queens are they're out pretty far. Transfuses will be available pretty soon. Starkiller has decided he doesn't like his chances. He's going to keep poking in, I think. No, he's not even going to bother after he sees that many Zerglings. But he's droning hard behind this. So the drone count will even itself out. But Caleb Arrakis has ultimately defended. Even if he's a little bit battered, he's going to be totally okay. Caleb Arrakis goes on the attack. He's going to move in his lings. Starkiller doesn't have his queens on the ramp. Okay. Luckily for Starkiller, at least for now, luckily, Caleb Arrakis is taking the time to morph in some Banelings. He wants to go for a heavier hitting attack, and that's going to be his undoing. He cannot break through 3 queens and a Spine Crawler. I mean, okay, he's going to use the Baneling's battering ram. I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, sure, the Zerglings will reach the main, but, like, how many drones are they going to kill? They pick off a queen. So far, 0 drone kills. Wave 2 of the aggression. Oh, no, that was just a single ling. Yeah, I don't think that was worth it. Caleb is going for third base. After that big an attack, I really don't like this. Two Banelings are going to roll in and try to take out the Zerglings of Starkiller. He finds the best hit that he can. Caleb Arrakis will hold once again, but a lot of HP has been shaved off of this hatchery. It should still be in the orange by the time it finishes. Starkiller is still behind 4 drones, and that hatchery of Caleb Arrakis's will finish. So he's at an economic lead. But all Starkiller really has to do is like go for a roach push and finish off these like even one of these bases going down would be a huge hit to Mr. Arrakis. Things all of a sudden got very quiet, so I'd like to take a moment to shout out the Karak Preservation Fund. Every day, thousands of Karaks are A-clicked. Entire families of Ursidax, of Arubus, being treated like immobile doodads. Okay, memes aside. Starkiller is going for a Nidus. Starkiller also had his Nidus scouted. Caleb Arrakis has time to prepare for this, but he's continuing to drone. He totally scouted this, right? The changeling? It just barely didn't see it. He's gonna see it now. Oh, man. The Nidus is about to finish. Caleb responds to defend. Queens are here to help out. They have a lot of transfuse for Starkiller. Remember, these bases are low on HP, especially the natural. Starkiller doesn't need to kill this army. What he needs to do is snipe the base and get out with minimal losses. +2 is on the way for both players. Because Starkiller sunk so much gas into this, +2 is going to be a little bit later for him. Starkiller is investing in Burrow. Caleb Arrakis should be able to get the cancel on this third base of Starkiller. Does he have enough to break through here? It's going to be very, very close. Both players are being super careful about how they engage, but as I noted earlier, Caleb Arrakis has the earlier +2 ground weapons, so he is going to be the more powerful of our two combatants. And he's just trading out better than Starkiller. GG is called. Caleb Arrakis evens up the score 1-1 against Starkiller in this best of 3. Discharge. Starkiller lost, so we are at a 1-1 score. The winner of this coming map will take the series and move on to the grand finals. In the bottom right corner of Simulacrum, as the blue Zerg, it is Caleb Arrakis. And in the top left, as the teal Zerg, for Alpha X, it's Starkiller. The winner of this game will move on to the grand finals and get themselves into the prize pool, which is not inconsiderable. I believe we were up to 170 the last time I checked. So thank you to all the generous donations there. Both players are opting for a pool first build. Starkiller is going gasless. Caleb Arrakis has thrown down an extractor. Caleb Arrakis and Starkiller both take second hatcheries. Caleb Arrakis is going to have quicker link speed. Starkiller is going to have quicker Zerglings. Now, I do think this works out in Caleb Arrakis' favor. Why, you may ask? Well, while Starkiller has quicker Zerglings, they are going to take time to travel across the map. That gives Caleb Arrakis enough time to get out a couple extra larvae and make defensive links. As long as he is the defender... He didn't notice! He didn't notice the lings! The Overlord totally saw them, but it was just for a split second, and Caleb Arrakis didn't see it. Okay, I take back everything I said. Starkiller has the advantage. His lings are going to get here first. They aren't going to bother with the natural. They're going to make a dive on the queen. Drones are going to be pulled to fight this. The queen is desperately trying to get to a choke point. She's not going to be able to. Starkiller's positioning is too good. Caleb Arrakis, in the meantime, is trying to attack the hatchery of Starkiller. Starkiller has enough defensive lings to hold this. He doesn't know how many more are on the way, though. He does pick off the queen on the other side of the map. One drone is heavily damaged. Actually, no. Those were the Zerglings mixed in. Oh, the Zerglings fall. The first drone has fallen as well. 2 Zerglings are still raining mayhem on the map. You'll notice Starkiller sends in the full health Zergling ahead of the lower health one. He forces an extractor. He forces a second extractor. In the meantime, Starkiller has held back home. Caleb Arrakis hasn't taken a tremendous amount of damage, but he has taken a lot of damage. Now, it's time for Caleb Baracus' small, you know, the part of his build that gives him a small power spike is about to kick in as Link Speed hits for him first. There it is. And Starkiller has been deflected. Both players are pretty much even on workers. Starkiller is ahead of Drone. It's not going to make too much of a difference. Starkiller is left with an injured second hatchery. Obviously, Caleb Baracus lost a queen in the main, so he is going to be behind in larva production in theory. Tactical lane run by happens for Caleb Baracus. He's able to connect with 4 drones, and that's actually going to put him at a heavy worker lead. Starkiller is going for 6 roaches. This should be like a 10 roach rush, I think. No, he just doesn't have the gas for it. No, it is. Ish. He's gonna have a couple extra, actually. Starkiller's slow-moving, inexorable army is closing in on Caleb Baracus. Caleb Baracus needs to come up with a defense plan. He's immediately going to drop 4 spine crawlers. He did drop a lot of extractors, which will pay off for him if he holds this, but that's a big if. He's going for his own Roach Warren. It's only halfway finished, and Starkiller's advanced units are already here. Lings run in to the mineral line. They right-click on the drones. It's just Zerglings and just Spines, and the Spines aren't finished. The first Spine should be targeted down. Okay, it is going to be targeted down before it completes. 3 Spines in the back are putting in work. 18 Lings are made by Caleb Baracus, even though the Roach Warren is here. Oh! You're trash, says Caleb Baracus. Starkiller takes the win. 2-1, and is our first grand finalist. We will take a look at the bracket to see what else has gone on in our absence. So, looks like Albion took down Dr. Ryan 2-1. Psyarch took down Kawayan 2-0. They are facing each other in losers round 3, which is going to be a best of 3. Caleb Baracus is waiting for them at the end of the lower bracket. Starkiller is going to have a little bit of a break as these 2 matches occur. Okay, we're hopping right in at the beginning of the match. Let me change my assets really quickly. In the bottom left corner of Everdream, we're in the next to the last lower bracket match as the Blue Terran, hailing from Japan. It's Psyarch. And in the top right, As the Red Protoss, also representing Japan, it's Albion. After the kind of slaughter that that the North Americans put down in the winners bracket, I'm very glad to see Psyark and Albion still here. Only one of them can advance to meet Caleb Arrakis and hopefully have a shot at the finals. There was a very small delay on the second CC, and of course some delayed mining time from the second SCV. Psyark was forced to pull. Psyark, widely considered one of the best Japanese players in the StarCraft 2 scene, pro scene. Albion, there's not too much information that I have on him. He likes to play in the Day Cups, Japanese Day Cups, and he seems to have won a couple of them. But Psyark regularly takes home the gold in many Japanese tournaments. Kill on the Reaper from Albion. Albion's making sure there's nothing out on the map to face him. Psyark is gotta be salty about losing that Reaper. Let's take a look at his vision. He's not seeing these extra 2 gateways go down. He did see the robotics facility. If he clicked on it, well, he saw it regardless. He'll know what it is if he clicked on it. So he doesn't 100% know that Albion is going to attack him. It looks like Psyark is just continuing his game plan, and it looks like that game plan is a Widow Mine drop. However, is he just going to do a single mine drop? Is that what's going to happen here? Yeah, it looks like he's going to drop 1 mine. And oh, okay, there's the second mine. I was confused. I was like, what? Where is it? Albion sees the medevac. He sees the angle it's moving out. Medevac boost forward. Albion is all over this medevac, man. This is so good. Now, this is important for a couple reasons. One, obviously, he's delaying the medevac from going into his mineral line. 2, he's denying scouting from Psyark. Albion's Stalker drop does connect, but he's going to be careful about engaging into a Warp Prism. Medevac finally connects with the probe line. That was a pretty good volley from the Stalkers, and every probe except the sacrificial one is evacuated. Psyark tried to unburrow there to make the shot not go off so he could keep camping the mineral line, but just didn't work out that way. Medevac's trying to get out of dodge. It leaves 1 Widow Mine behind. The Widow Mine goes down. Albion starts Chrono Boost on +1 and charge. Templar Archives are dropped as well. Psyark is just throwing down production everywhere. Albion has his 3rd already up and running. Psyark did see this Nexus with the medevac. Another couple barracks are dropped. CC is almost finished up. Couple of Marauders enter production, and Syark is gonna finally start coalescing his biological army. I guess he's gonna try to move out a third. I don't think he has enough for a 2-base push. He's gonna have to wait for another wave or two of production. Okay, he salvages the bunker. Albion is finishing up +1. High temps are warping in. Syark is going to go on the attack, but the Observer sees all. Albion is going to have plenty of time to prepare for the onrushing Marines. He doesn't have Storm yet. He's buying as much time as he can, forcing the siege tanks to siege pretty far away from the Protoss third. He has some force field energy here to cut off units and buy time as well. Storm's halfway finished. Armor's halfway finished as well. Syark isn't trying to cause damage with this push anymore, though. He's splitting off a medevac and going for a drop in the main of Albion. Albion warped in a couple of zealots. They did half a dozen workers in damage. Now it's Syark's turn to try and return the favor. The zealot is kind of stuck back here. It's not shielding for the stalkers. Another warp on. How about a warp-in? Will seal the fate of this drop. In the meantime, Albion knows that the forces here are diminished for the Terran. He pushes out a little bit. He doesn't really connect too many kills, but he does force Syark back and gain map control. Albion takes a 4th base at the high-yield gas location. Storm finished up a little while ago for the Protoss. This is a heavily answered warp prism. I wouldn't load any valuable cargo into that, but I think Albion is just moving it out for some charge lot harass. He has a fresh warp prism supporting his army. 4th Nexus is completed for Albion. Syark goes for a Widowmine defense with siege tanks at his 3rd base. He tried to sneak around medevac drop force, but it's not working out too well. Albion doesn't want to overextend, so he's going to let these guys live another day. Syark decides to move out his army, but there's already Protoss units here to respond, and they are going to broadside the Terran. Widowmines have to get god-tier hits off. They don't quite manage it. The tanks are getting picked off in the background as the Archons push down the ramp. There's so much splash damage here. Storm isn't even utilized. Where are those High Templar? Oh, I guess he made them into Archons and didn't make any more. Stalker Zealot is holding off the second prong of Albion's attack. This was the bio group that was chased back to this location on the map a little bit earlier. They stemmed into the natural, didn't have any luck. Albion is firmly ahead in army supply. He's double pumping Colossus. Extended thermal lances on the way. +2 is about to finish as well as +2 armor. Some more high temps. I must say, I'm a little bit surprised that Albion chose to make Archons and then didn't remake the High Templar for Storm, but hey, it's working out for him. Huge storms are dropped on the bio, finally. There were a lot more storms there, but the High Templar kind of got overeager, so they will be picked off, but Psyarch just has so much here. One of the CCs will go down in the sky. Psyarch is trying to rally a defense, but Albion... I think I said Psyarch has too much. I meant to say Albion has too much. Psyarch's trying to rally a defense. The Freedom Zones are a little bit too much for Albion to push into. He is going to play very conservatively, go back home, regroup his forces, and I'm trying to find things. Like, how can Psyarch turn this around? He does... Well, no, he's behind in upgrades. At least numerically. Disruptors are coming out for Albion. +3 is coming out for Albion. Both weapons and armor. Ship weapons, I guess, are coming out for Psyarch. That's going to help the Liberators a little bit. Why do I keep mixing their names up? They're not at all similar. Psyarch is trying to defend as best he can at the planetary. Albion doesn't want to move into the freedom circles. There's a flanking disruptor out there. It has to be intentional. Okay, it's not even going to do anything. At least not yet. Here come the disruptors. Psyarch is super scared of this Protoss army right now. There's just not enough left for the Terran. It's 100 army supply to 30. GG is called. And Albion takes game number 1. I see Pearl in the chat. Hi, Pearl. Why is Nightbot sending out 2 messages for the Matcherino, and one of them's just wrong? It's just blatantly. Aha! I found the glitch. I found the glitch in the system. It's done. It's fixed. In the bottom right corner of Nightshade as the blue Terran, it's Psyarch, and in the top left, claiming a victory in game number 1, it's the red Protoss, Albion. These two are fighting for supremacy to see who is going to be the last remaining Japanese player in this tournament. The winner will go on to face Caleb Arrakis. Is this a fake proxy? Or, okay, so I can see a couple of ways this goes for Psyarch. So he can put, like, a second barracks here in the wall, and it looks like he's only opening 1 racks, but really he's opening 2 racks. Or he could just have it out here, hope the probe doesn't scout it, and hope that the probe thinks he's proxying Albion. But really, it's just like right there, and he's playing a totally normal game and gonna drop a CC. First Marine is out for Psyarch. Albion's like, what? What is going on? I've seen only a factory, so there has to be barracks out on the map, right? And you can see his reaction taking shape in-game as he sends this probe out all the way to here to see if there are any proxy racks. He's probably going to check down here, maybe. But it's getting later and later for those proxy racks to hit, if they were real. Psyarch drops a reactor on the barracks. He's going for a Widow Mine. He's going to rally that out to the front for defense for now. And it looks like we're gearing up for a Widow Mine drop as Psyarch gets his second CC up. Albion didn't overreact to this, though. Despite not ever seeing the barracks in the natural, he felt comfortable to still drop a Nexus. So this didn't really damage the Protoss at all, I don't think. Albion's going for a robotics facility. Psyarch is just continuing to pump out Marines. It's getting a tech lab on the factory. Getting up another Widow Mine. So there should be 3 in time for the drop. Psyarch seems comfortable just repeating. Wait a minute, did he just not? Okay, no, he totally went for the double Widow Mine drop. So Psyarch feels totally comfortable repeating his build from the last game. He's going into a Viking, he's getting out a tank, he's getting out Marines. The only difference is this fake proxy barracks that he opened up with, but other than that, this is looking like a very similar game from both players. If that holds true, we're going to see... Well, Albion's third is later, isn't it? Do you believe that's the case? Albion goes for an Adept Warp in, as opposed to Stalkers this time around. They're kind of derping around. They could have stopped the engineering bay from getting built, gotten another SCV kill, but now they're going to go head-to-head with a tank. That's a little bit yikes. You don't want to do that. Albion gets a bunch of shield batteries up at the front! The Widow Mine burrows! The shot locks on. Okay, it's only going to be 2 probes. That could have been a lot worse. Now the Vikings landing. It's going to get a couple probe kills as well. 6 probes in total have fallen from this Terran aggression. Viking will be picked off. But I think that was worth it for Psyarch. Psyarch starts up his 3rd CC. Actually, yeah, okay. I was like, he's got to pull an SCV any moment now. Finish that. The Adept drop goes back in. They're all alive. Incredibly. Another 4 SCVs fall. Albion has his Observer very brazenly just out in the open. 1 scan from Psyarch, and that Obs is gone. And Psyarch's movements will be in the shadows. Psyarch will be cosplaying a DT. He'll be like, from the shadows I come, but he's just moving out with Marine Tank. Albion is just passively probing. I mean, he's getting up tech, he's getting up a Templar Archives, he's getting out Blink. Psyarch. Okay, there's the scan. There's the scan. Psyarch is now in the dark to his opponent. It's going to move out his 3rd base. Missile turret gets picked off. These Adepts have done so much work. And they all get out again! Value Adepts. Stim has finished for Psyarch. Plus, combat shields are going to finish in 8 seconds. +1 weapons are going to finish in about 30 seconds. Will he go for a +1 timing? It's starting to feel a little bit late to me. Albion has charge lots split up all over the map after losing that Observer. He wants to see if and when the Terran moves out. He's even going to save the Zealot. Both players are doing a dangerous dance. Psyarch gets a successful bait into Widowmine number 1. Widowmine number 2. Doesn't even matter. He connects with the Immortal. Charge lots were all dead by the time Widowmine got off its shot. Oh! Psyarch getting this Immortal is pretty big, but Albion has another Warping. He's going to cut down the forward forces of the Terran. However, I think Psyarch has regrouped enough to stop Albion from pushing across map. And he has plenty of medevac energy to replenish his HP. Psyarch sets up a concave, but there's too much splash damage. The mines take out an Archon, but there's not enough left on the ground for Psyarch. He is going to have to back out. Albion holds once again. Army supplies are pretty even. worker count is 2, which always favors the Terran a little bit, but Albion is going to have 4th base very, very, very soon, and Cyrk is just finishing up his 4th CC. He's probably going to move it out to location and turn it into a planetary as opposed to another orbital. Ghost upgrades are on the way, and ghosts have entered production for the Terran. Armor is started up as well. +2/+2 is going out for Albion. Now, as we get into the late game... Well, okay. We are seeing Colossi come for Albion. Extended Thermal Lance is started up as well. But Albion is going to keep running in these harassment units, trying to get little tidbits of damage done. Cyrk is going to build up for another push that will eventually happen. But he's only got like 2 Widow Mines right now. I don't think he has any siege tanks. He's going to be relying on some really good EMPs if he chooses to engage the Protoss anytime soon. First Colossi is out for Albion. He is going up to 3. It will be out before any Terran attack arrives. If it arrives at all. Cyrk hunts down a couple scouts. What I thought he was... Okay. Albion broadsides the Terran again. All the Widow Mines are getting taken care of. The Ghosts are left quite a bit isolated. And the meat and bones of Albion's army are still standing strong. Cyrk tries for a drop at the 4th base. Albion's already on top of it. There is static defense at the 3rd. But the main is quite vulnerable. Okay, a Warping of Stalkers to defend the main. In the meantime, Albion chases down the main Terran force. Cyrk is rallying his reinforcements to defend. Albion drops. A cannon is going to buy a little bit of time, and it's going to be enough. The Blink Stalkers come down from the high ground. Charge lots come in from the natural. Marauders are trying to hold the choke point, but they are gunned down. The medevac is gone, and the units are isolated. In the meantime, Cyrk pushes out, but he can't engage 3 Colossi right now. Albion is just happily mining away on 4 bases. Cyrk is happily mining away on 4 bases. Army supply is evening back up for the Terran, but the question is, can he break Albion at this point? Albion is going to have a maxed out Protoss Death Ball and begin transitioning into air behind this if the game continues forward. Plus, 3-3 is going to be on the field for the Protoss long before it is for the Terran, and Albion might choose to use this timing to make his move. Back there we go. Archons are leading the charge. There is a Widow Mine here. It gets the best shot off that it possibly could. Vikings immediately start targeting down the Colossi, but they have to go over the wall to do so and into the fire of the Stalkers. The High Templar are being very patient. They aren't dropping Storm yet. Albion doesn't want to engage into the planetary. He is going to try to dive in to the natural, up the ramp. Disruptor shots are positioning Cyrk where he wants him. Okay, he's not going to go for the natural. He's going to go for the planetary. Cyrk starts the repair. This is going to take a lot of DPS to take down. There's a full surround from the Terran, but Cyrk cleans up 2 angles of that surround. He's forced to back out of the planetary. Excuse me, Albion cleaned up 2 angles of the surround that Cyrk threw down. Freedom zones are dropped. Cyrk's tournament life is on the line here and now. Albion bled out quite a few units there, so he's not transitioning into air or anything just yet. He's continuing robotics facility production. He's getting out more high temps at the warp prism. He's getting out more colossi and marching them forward. In the meantime, he took a fifth behind this. He's sending out the probes. Psyarch is besieged on 4 base. The Terran can do a lot with 4 base, but he's going to start mining out, and mining out rapidly in the natural and in his main. As a matter of fact, he's down to 1 mineral patch in the main. The Colossi are all gone for Albion. He still has an Immortal here. He still has a Sentry, but all the high temps are gone as well. And there's no more Archons remaining. I think Albion has to back off. Psyarch ultimately defends, but again, the Protoss is on a better economy than the Terran. The worker count's even. Of course, the Terran has mules, but that also means his mineral patches run out a bit faster. You'll see double the mineral patches on the natural for Albion over Psyarch. The third isn't looking so hot for Psyarch either. That means Psyarch is going to have to move out a 5th base. This is going to be vulnerable while it morphs into a planetary, but it looks like Albion wants to replenish his robotics facility units. Gather up some energy for Storm. He takes a 6th down to the left side of the map. Dark Shrine finishes up for Albion, as do Shields. Albion goes after the rocks. He's not going to be able to do that. Unfortunately for him, Psyarch had his whole army just right there. A lot of SCVs will get picked off. Psyarch, what you doing, man? Save your CC! Oh no. He's focusing on the main engagement here, but he lost an entire command center because of that focus. That was a really good EMP. Albion's beating a full retreat, it looks like, but these guys are dealing the real damage. The Ghost Academy goes down. The barracks are under siege. Psyarch turns around and goes home. After all that, to take care of the Zealots, oh no. Psyarch is also supply blocked, so this round of production is all he's going to get for now. He needs to throw down a lot more supply depots. He's getting a planetary down here, but Albion move back out across the map. Psyarch drops the repair on this planetary. It'll hold for a little bit of time, but Disruptor Shot takes out a lot of the SCVs. Psyarch evacuates. The Town Hall count is diminishing here for the Terran. He's still supply blocked. He can't reinforce this army. He's forced to use another stim. The medevacs are running low on energy. He gets off good EMPs. The Liberators try to move in to save the day, but they get picked off before they can even deploy the Liberation Zones. Albion moves in. The Colossi are dealing so much damage from behind. He's not even going to move in. He's just going to sit here and camp as Psyarch comes to him. He moves in. GG is called. Albion takes the series 2-0. He's going to be your final remaining Japanese player as he moves on to the lower bracket finals to face Caleb Arrakis. Okay, let me switch my assets around while our players do bans. Okay. Make sure you guys check out the Matcherino. Put in the code. We're up to $170 prize pool. Thanks, of course, to Pearlescent for sponsoring the tournament. Captain Nerve, $35 from Soren17. Spartan Merv. How did I read Spartan as captain? Hesna, $5.50. Uni says $5.50. Psyarch Fighting. Stalix. Coupon code. I'm not gonna read everyone who put in the coupon code. Coda, Sushi, Reality, Shazam Poof, Nina, Sun Lily, Snoopy, Dragonite, If I Were a Soup, Sniper, Orajax, Captain Canuck, Hesna, Romsley, everyone who contributed, thank you so much. You do have your choice of casters tonight. Thank you if you're sticking with me. Really appreciate that. We're waiting on Caleb Arrakis. Sorry for being so quiet. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm just making sure everything goes smoothly. Talking to the other admins and whatnot. Yeah, so Horikin's asking, is there any advantage for the winner's bracket winner? So we haven't quite come to that yet, but the winner of the winner's bracket, meaning Star Killer, does start with one map in his favor. So Star Killer, it's a best of 5, but Star Killer wins map number 1 by default. Against whoever his opponent ends up being. So, our 2 players are doing vetoes. I would tell you to go to one of the other channels, but we're all waiting for this match to happen. So, should be just a minute. In the bottom left of Eternal Empire, representing North America, it's the Blue Zerg from Icebound Esports, Caleb Arrakis. And in the top right, as the Red Protoss player, is the last remaining from the Isles of Japan. It's Albion. We've seen Albion's dominance in Protoss vs. Terran, but if he wants to take this tournament, he has to first take down Caleb Arrakis, which will get him into the prize pool. And then take on Starkiller at a 1-game disadvantage. Caleb Arrakis has already lost to Starkiller, being knocked to the bottom half of the bracket. And just looking for the rematch. First contact has been made. The Adept shades into the Zerg base. Caleb Arrakis has snuck in a scouting ling. He sees the very early Twilight Council of Albion. The Adept has gotten the scout off and escaped. Sends another shade forward to scout again. Cancels it and is going to walk all the way home. Blink is being chrono boosted out for Albion. Products facility is started up. And yeah, this is, you know, you would expect with this early of a Twilight Council in this matchup for either Dark Templar or Adepts to be made in our current meta. However, Albion goes for the Blink play. This is really unusual. And I think the only reason he's doing this is because he got scouted. And scouted so early. There's no canceling at this point. This is too much of an investment. Albion is 100% going for a Blink Stalker all in. I've been playing a lot of Doom Eternal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that game. It just came out in March. It's the follow-up to smash hit Doom 2016. And I swear, some of the death animations in that game are inspired by StarCraft. Like, the way the Overlords die is a lot like the way are they called Cyber Demons? I forget what they're called. The floating guys that look exactly like Overlords, except with one eye instead of, like, 18. So Caleb Arrakis made the right move here. He made a lot of Zerglings, but Albion is just too good on the blinks, and he's going to continue forward. Oh! Those Stalkers were so close to finishing, but Caleb Arrakis got the snipe on the Prism. You need exactly 3 Corrosive Biles to take down a Warp Prism, and that is exactly the amount he landed. So Albion will be held here, not necessarily because of Caleb Arrakis engaged the Stalkers more effectively, but it's solely because of the Warp Prism going down. So, hey, doesn't really matter how you do it. The game of StarCraft is about victory. And, you know, in like 1 in 1,000 games a tie. But who's counting? Robotic Space finishing up for Albion. He did make a second War Prism. He did move it to the front, and he's going to continue his attack. Caleb Arrakis is still stuck on 45 workers. It's like too late to take a fourth, and he's not going to want to anyway. If Albion tries to take a third at this point, like, Caleb Arrakis is just going to counterattack with Roach Ravager and try to shut it down. That's going to be the game. Like, I don't think Caleb Arrakis is just going to macro out of this anytime soon. But Albion is doing a good job of keeping Caleb at home. He just has to keep dealing damage at least as good as he has been. Okay, he's got to blink onto the roaches now. He doesn't press the advantage. So Caleb Arrakis is going to be able to replenish his Ling Meat Shield. Okay, the Lings are bled out once again. You know, Caleb Arrakis always has the army supply to take this in a straight-up fight, but Albion has the better maneuverability, and that adds so much value to his units. He never has to take this on in a straight-up fight. He's gonna buy more time for that Disruptor to recharge. He loads up into the Warp Prism. He's gonna retreat. He's warping in at his new third base, and Albion has just played this out so beautifully. If you want to... A lot of people say Stalkers aren't viable in this matchup, and I kind of, like, alluded to that. I didn't say... Go ahead, rewind the VOD. I didn't say Stalkers were bad in this matchup. I said they're uncommon, right? So you would expect a Dark Templar, or a DT Shrine, or Resonating Glaives in the current climate. But just look how much Albion is doing with so little. There's only ever been one Disruptor, by the way. This is the same Disruptor that popped, like, minutes ago. Now, finally, there's a second Disruptor. First Disruptor's almost off cooldown, but Caleb Arrakis gets the snipe. He's finally gotten the Protoss into the position he wants him in. He's going into a concave, though, and that's going to make Corrosive Bile a lot less effective. The shield battery helped out a little bit as well, absorbing some of the roach shots. Albion blinks into the roaches, but I think Caleb Arrakis has enough to break through here. Both Disruptors have fallen. Okay, the Zerglings are almost all gone, but here's more reinforcements. GG is called. Caleb Arrakis ekes out the victory. I'm gonna return to game real quick here before we pop out. Caleb did get up a fourth base back at home. I made a call a little bit earlier that, you know, he was just gonna try to all-in the third, but he did both. He all-in the third, and then he got a fourth base behind it. It was a very close tug of war, and although it looked like Caleb Arrakis kind of rolled over Albion there, it was super close. This has been just a great event so far. Shout out to the tournament organizers. It's so hard to run a tournament this smoothly. There's been like next to no downtime, no drama. I played it up that Caleb Arrakis told Starkiller he was a bad player, but they're friends. They've known each other for a long time. Like, they do this all the time to each other. I'm excited that a Japanese player made it all the way to the next to the last round of the tournament and might be making it to the finals. I don't know. That looked really close to me. I could be wrong. I am a Zerg, but my second race is Protoss, so looking forward to seeing more play out of Albion. I hope this at least goes to a 2-1 series. Hey Goomba, how's it going? Also, thank you guys for bearing with the lighting situation. I have my cell phone on my ceiling fan because my lights burned out and we're currently on lockdown in my county, and there's nowhere to get a lamp or a better lighting source. I'm doing what I can, so I hope it's not too distracting for you guys. Again, thank you for bearing with that. In the bottom right corner of Nightshade as the Blue Zerg from Icebound Esports, representing North America, it's Caleb Arrakis. And in the top left, as the Red Protoss, it's the final remaining Japanese player, Albion. Caleb Arrakis is up 1-0 in this best of 3. He's looking to take the big win for North America. I keep trying to say America, but like, that's not fair. There's an entire southern continent, guys. There's two Americas. Just the upper half of the Americas is represented here today. Caleb Arrakis opens hatch gas pool. Nothing dramatic there. And, he's not pulling a Bly. His hatch is in the correct place. It's not at his opponent's third. So, it looks like we're going to have another, at least semi-macro game. Albion went with the Blink Stalker build in game number 1. Is he gonna switch it up? Is he gonna go Stargate? Is he gonna go DTs? What's it gonna be? Okay, it's an Adept coming out. It's gonna be a 220 Twilight Council. Well, 221, but you get the drift. Albion goes to saturate his second base. Robotics facility has started up. Albion throws in a shade and cancels it. He is checking the drone count on the natural, making sure he isn't being all-ins, at least not for now. Forces a Sport Crawler and gets a drone kill. Will he make it out with the Adept? No, he will not. Caleb Arrakis got his third up in time. And it is going to be a Dark Shrine play this time around from Albion. Overlord speed has finished up for the Zerg. He does get the scout on the Dark Shrine. That Ling did see these shades go out, so Caleb Arrakis should have plenty of time to respond. He's building 6 Lings. Here come the first DTs. Albion's not going to bother with any Dark Templar aggression. He's just going to go for the double Archon drop since he was scouted. Makes a lot of sense. These Adepts are going to shade into the third base as the Archons hit the main. He did move Lings into the mineral line to intercept. Albion sees it. He does let it finish after he shades into the choke point. One Queen goes down, and the Swart Prism has got to run before it takes hull damage. 3 drones actually get picked off here, and a lot of those Lings go down as well. Caleb Arrakis is building up a Roach Force, and he's dropped a Spire at the 530 mark. That is early enough to me to signal Muta from the Zerg player. Albion's going for a third base. Did Caleb Arrakis see it with his Scouting Ling? It's going to be on the edge of vision. Yeah. So the Scouting Ling saw it with the edge of his vision circle. I think Caleb Arrakis is going to go for a Roach push while the Muta hit in the main. Is he, though? Speed is about to finish. He's going for +1. Okay, so he might just harass with the Mutalisk and stay home with the Roaches. Albion is doing standard 3-base Protoss things, getting out +1, getting out the Immortal, gearing up defenses. Of course, he does have Archons out on the field. There aren't actually any Mutalisk in production for Caleb Arrakis. He doesn't have too much of a gas bank either. Okay, he is going to make 3. Those are some good shots on the drones. Only one of them actually died, though. What you doing, Immortal? What you doing here? That's a pretty bad miss rally from Albion. It went down totally for free. It had to walk so far. I walked so far. Wait, how does that Linkin Park song go? I've come so far. Oh god, I can't remember the lyrics. I was gonna say, like, in the end, I die to a Ravager, but it's a work in progress, guys, okay? Albion pushes in on creep. He's gonna clear up. Looks like just one. He hasn't brought an observer with him. Two of those biles did connect. Force fields are being a little bit annoying here for Caleb Arrakis. The Immortals aren't actually shooting the Roaches. They were kind of shooting the Extractor. Oh, man. Okay. Caleb Arrakis is held. He's going to get the Ravagers in range. 3 Biles on the Prism. The Prism doesn't undeploy. Down it goes. These Ravagers are a little bit far out. Ooh, he threads the Needle. He's going to bring them back to meet up with reinforcements. That's quite nice. I thought Albion was going to kind of collapse on them. In the meantime, a DT enters the main. It is swiping away at this hatchery. Okay, an Overseer's morphing in. It's not here yet, though, but this DT didn't actually get any kills. It's spreading out its damage too much. Down it goes. That's a lot of Banelings. I mean, the DT got the scout off, but not much else. These guys were kind of doing the jitterbug. This Roach is still stuck. It's like, no, friends, let me join you. Banelings are like, we will surround you. We will protect you. I don't know why the Banelings are robots. They don't even have the simulant skins, man. That's why. I'm not a real Zerg. I'm a simulant Zerg. Feels bad. Albion did eventually get into this Blink stock heavy composition. He does have Blink, right? Okay, yeah, thank God. He started up +3 weapons, but they're not going to be here for a very long time. Caleb Arrakis actually hasn't even gone into +2. He's just going to continue massing reinforcements to the front. Eventually the Banelings do break through and they get some pretty big connections, but it's not very many of them. Was it enough of them, though? Caleb has 26 Zerglings, 8 more Roaches on the tab for reinforcements. Albion still has a lot of work to do if he wants to hold. He's being backed more and more into a corner. GG is called. Caleb Arrakis takes the series 2-0. There are 2 remaining members of the North American team. Unfortunately, Japan had their highest finishing player go out in effectively 3rd place. Caleb Arrakis moves on to the grand finals to have a rematch with Starkiller. Drop a follow if you guys are enjoying the stream. I do a lot of work to bring these productions to you. Also, stop by the Match Arena page, put in the code NA vs Nippon to add 50 cents to the prize pool. We're still holding strong at $170. So that payout's going to be going to Caleb Arrakis and Starkiller. $75.25 to 1st and 2nd place. I agree, Rafira. I think this has been. I'm not just saying this. I think it's been a really, really, really good, really fun, really fast-paced tournament. Okay, we have an announcement. So, the prize pool has been increased for everybody. The split is now going to be $80 to first place, $40 to second, $30 are going to Albion in third place, and 40 I got my tongue tied. $20 are going to Psyarch in fourth place. So thank you guys for putting in those coupon codes. Thank you to the guys who donated. Really, really appreciate that. I'm sure... Wow. I mangled another sentence. I'm sure that the pro gamers really, really, really appreciate that. Caleb Barak is saying, I don't think Star Killer has ever made a lurker. I'm sorry, Japanese viewers. Or can... Hey guys, Japanese viewers love lurker wars. Star Killer is saying, you can make them instead, Caleb. Golden Wall and Purity and Industry are our two vetoes. Simulacrum will be map number 1. Second will be Eternal Empire. Waiting on Caleb Arrakis to pick the third map. Okay, it's going to be Nightshade. Star Killer picks Everdream as the fourth map. And that means our default fifth map is... the one that's remaining, which is Zen. Okay. Apparently, ZVZ on Zen. A little bit frowned upon. Because basically, since Star Killer won the winner's bracket, I gotta stop trying to read while I talk. So, since Star Killer won the winner's bracket, he starts out with a 1-game lead over Caleb Arrakis, meaning Zen will never get played. So effectively, our vetoes are Golden Wall, Purity, and Zen. If Star Killer wins 2 games, he takes the series and the grand prize. Caleb Arrakis wins 3 games, he takes the grand prize. I made it through that. Look at that. Yeah. It's the nicest copyright music you can find on the internet. Wait. It's the nicest copyright-free music that you can find on the internet. I'll link it if anyone wants to. Check it out. In the top left corner of Simulacrum, as the blue Zerg, it's Caleb Arrakis. And in the bottom right corner, as the teal Zerg, it's Starkiller. Caleb Arrakis saying, "You should 12 pool again." Starkiller saying, "Yes." Caleb Arrakis. Good. He's not 12 pooling, guys. He's already at 17 drones. He's going pool first, though. So the meme here is Huracan, before the game, was like, Japanese viewers love to watch Lurker versus Lurker. So, Starkiller was like, Caleb Arrakis, you make Lurker. So Caleb Arrakis is going to be our first attacker. Starkiller should have Lings out in time to defend this. There's only 6 here. 6 are going to pop for Starkiller. He's even going to Extractor trick out another pair of Lings. He pulls half the... I think this might be a little bit of an overreaction. I mean, Caleb Arrakis also brings 2 more Lings to the front. Starkiller... Okay, so it's going to be 10 Lings versus 8 Lings and 5 drones. Yeah, Starkiller's defended. He has lost some mining time. These last 2 Zerglings were the tail end of the aggression for Caleb Arrakis. The Queen moves down the ramp. There's no longer enough Lings to kill the Queen. Starkiller has defended admirably. Caleb Arrakis finds a small last bit of damage as he forces a Spore Crawler. Starkiller better be careful. There's so many Lings here to deflect Starkiller's aggression. Now, Starkiller will be able to evacuate. He does have Ling speed. He's going to get home a lot faster than Caleb Arrakis can attack. Starkiller has the better positioning. Caleb Arrakis gets caught in the corner. He bled out like 8 Lings there. He's trying to find drone damage in the natural. He gets 3 drone kills, but will be ultimately repelled here. And Starkiller still has a drone lead after all of that. He's up 6 army supply as well. It's just been back and forth Ling battles non-stop. Starkiller had the concave. Yeah, he's gonna win the engagement. There were pretty much an equal amount of links there, but Starkiller had the better positioning. Well played is called. And Starkiller goes up 2-0 in the grand finals. He's a single game away from taking that grand prize. In the bottom left corner of Eternal Empire, he's down to his last life in this tournament. He has to win 3 games in a row if he wants the grand prize. It's the Blue Zerg for Icebound Esports, Caleb Arrakis. And in the top right, representing the Alpha Dragons, it's the Teal Zerg, the Emperor of the Pizza Bi-Weekly, Starkiller. So, overall, in this tournament, Starkiller has taken 3 actual physical wins off of Caleb Arrakis. They met first in the winner's bracket. Starkiller swatted him down with a 2-1 victory. And we're back here in the grand finals. Starkiller has a 2-1 lead. He is favored in the series right now. Will we see an epic comeback from our darker Blue Zerg? Starkiller uncharacteristically opening hatch first. Oh, he went for an early third against a pool first. So, Starkiller is going for the hidden base in the top left corner. I mean, I guess this shouldn't, in theory, get scouted for a while. His Overlord misses the Zerglings of Caleb Arrakis, and... Okay, Starkiller isn't being totally greedy. He is getting 8lings to defend. I think that was an accidental ping from Starkiller. It, the game lagged for a second, so I think he alt-tabbed, and then sometimes you can get a glitch where you ping. Caleb wins the tiny little Ling engagement. Starkiller's trying to get in scouts. One Ling will survive with just a smidgen of HP. Gets a scout on the lair of his opponent. But Starkiller's gonna be quite a bit ahead in the larva production. He's going for roaches. Okay, I kind of expected like a Ling Bane Flood off of 3 base here. Starkiller completes the wall. Nothing's breaking in here for a while. Oh man. This is like watching a horror movie. We just have so much dramatic irony. Caleb Arrakis is going Mutalisk. Okay. Okay, you got me interested. Starkiller spent a lot of larva on drones. I mean, he's only 5 workers ahead right now. But once this next wave of a dozen workers at once finishes up, Starkiller's going to start transitioning into units. So now he's ahead 15 drones. Okay, he is beginning roach production. Caleb Arrakis is going to have 7 Muta out. Now, oh man, the Ling scouted it. Caleb Arrakis has scouted the ninja base. Starkiller throws down a spine. He needs spores. He doesn't know what's going on. He scouted the lair, but never went back in to see if there was a roach warren or to see if there was a spire. I think the space and all the drones at it might be dead. There's finally a spore started up, but Starkiller has no way to get over here and defend. He has a couple roaches popping out, but this many Muta are going to overrun the anti-air defenses before they can even really take effect. Spore crawlers are targeted down. The queen falls as well. And Starkiller fails to hold the expansion. Starkiller is attempting to... Okay, so I said Starkiller failed to hold the expansion, but I mean, Caleb Arrakis just left it alive. Now he's bleeding off a couple Mutalisk. What's going on? Okay, some Zerglings do move in to finish this expansion off. The Spine Crawler is going to buy a little bit of time. There's a ton of larvae here if Starkiller wants to make a wave of roaches and take this down, but I think he's focused on building Hydra at his natural, and he's just going to leave this for dead. Caleb Arrakis, in the meantime, is getting a Baneling Nest to preempt all these Hydralisks. He's getting +1 air attack. Baneling speed is sure to follow quite soon. Spines are going up absolutely everywhere to tie down any attacking forces of Starkiller, and Caleb Arrakis is now our player that's ahead 13 workers. He's now ahead of base. Starkiller is supply blocked. It's going for a Nidus play, but these Spines are still going to tie the Hydralisk down. The Muta are very out of position to intercept this. It's a high-risk, high-reward play from Starkiller. Out come the Queens. The Hydra file out one by one. If these Mutalisks had been on top of the Nidus, they would have been able to pick the Hydra off as they came out, but they aren't in time. Okay, these Spines are doing exactly what they were meant to, buying time for the Muta to come back across the map. Here come the Mutalisks. The Banelings are morphing in. Starkiller isn't targeting them down. The third has fallen for Caleb Arrakis. The Banelings are going down as well. Starkiller moves into the natural. 1 Spine Crawler dies. 2 Spine Crawlers die. Banelings are trying to get in on the Hydralisks. Huge connections. And now Starkiller's army is totally cleaned up. Or is it? There's still more Hydralisks in the back, reinforcing from the Nidus. More coming out at home, and remember that the defender's advantage is diminished. I mean, Starkiller still has to walk quite a ways away, and it looks like he does have a couple units still sitting in the Nidus, but he's continuing to reinforce to the front. Every Mutalisk that falls is so expensive for Caleb Arrakis. However, every Hydralisk that falls is so expensive for Starkiller. More links are out. They're going to try to engage with the Mutalisk and the drones. I think this will be enough to drive off this attack. Caleb Arrakis is not going to lose any drones, actually. And Starkiller isn't going to commit any more units out of the... Wait, no, he is! Okay, he's totally going to commit more units out of the Nidus. And this actually will push Caleb Arrakis back once again. He's not going to throw down that third like he planned to. He's going to rally a defense at the natural. Caleb decides to take third at the front. Okay, those were good Baneling connections, but had, 2-3 more Banelings rolled in to the clump of Hydras back there, Caleb might have been able to break this contain again. He was not able to. Nina, no. Caleb Arrakis and Starkiller have a friendly rivalry going on. It's all a show. It's all an act. Shh, don't tell them I said that. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Starkiller attacks his own Spore Crawler to assert dominance. I'm not sure if I should fill time with anecdotes or focus on game because action is about to happen. I feel tension. Okay, we'll compromise. We'll start the anecdote, but I'm going to cut it off immediately and not finish it if we have an engagement. So I actually have a bit of history with both these players. Caleb Arrakis coached me for a little while, along with Prototype, and Starkiller is the coach of one of my rivals, Barks. Okay, we have a major engagement. The Banelings roll. They try to roll through the roaches. A lot of them collapse onto Spore Crawlers. Not too many of them get connections with the Hydralisks. The Hydra Roach is going to push forward. The mutas are still in the air here for Caleb Arrakis, but I don't think he can engage this much. Hydralisk, those were tremendous connections for the Blue Zerg, and he has a lot of mutas left. More Banelings are morphing in. I don't think they're going to be too... maybe it's worth it to connect. Okay, nope, they get us around on the Hydra. All the Hydra are gone. There's nothing to defend in the air. GG is called. Caleb Arrakis gets his first point on the board. We have a series on our hands. What do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts in the chat. Who's going to take it? Do you think Starkiller? Do you think Caleb? Whoa! Hey, thanks for the gift sub, Pearl. Really appreciate it. Oh my god, gift sub to Cuddle Bear as well. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh! It got gifted to Nightbot! Congratulations, Nightbot, for joining the Knights of Bread. Wait a minute, that's illegal. Thank you for the gift sub, Ina. Oh my god. It's very generous of you guys. Thank you so much. Holy crap, guys. Slow the roll. Oh my god. Hype train! Thank you guys. That was really, really, really nice of you. I'm gonna pause the browser alerts for now. So we're gonna get into game now. But thank you guys so much for all the gift subs, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Spam those emotes, guys. In the bottom right corner of Nightshade, as the Blue Zerg, finally with his first point on the board in this best of 5. It's the Blue Zerg, Caleb Arrakis. And in the top left, as the Teal Zerg, it's Starkiller. Ah! The hype train has left the station for real. As Starkiller opens pool first, he sends out his attack squad of Lings, and Caleb Arrakis prepares to defend. The Lings will get scouted this time around. Caleb Arrakis pulls half the drone line. That is the correct response when your opponent has expanded. But Starkiller is following up with Banelings anyway. Oh my god, you guys are crazy. Thank you so much.
FTW.
Starkiller is memeing with the Banelings. Oh no! The Lings are trapped. One Baneling connects. Gets about 5 kills there, I want to say. Starkiller continues up the ramp. He gets a surround on the Queen. The drones are beginning to fall. Caleb Arrakis has reinforcements, but he has to be super careful playing against this Baneling. That was a good enough hit for Starkiller. He's going to go into the drone line. Caleb Arrakis is trying to fight with his lings and drones at the same time. He's trying to bait Starkiller into the drones so he can fight them at a numerical advantage. The Queen is focused down. And Caleb Arrakis finally has a new tool to play around with. Starkiller has not invested in link speed at all. His remaining Zerglings get gunned down. Now he will have time to get these 8 lings out back at home, or at least most of them, and he's going to start up the Banelings, but he needs to defend those Banelings while they morph in. Caleb Arrakis is desperately trying to snipe that Baneling. It's below half health. Okay, the snipe finally goes off. And Starkiller just doesn't have enough to defend. He's going to pull the drones to try and help, but the Queen will go down. Caleb Arrakis is getting more and more and more drone kills. 12 lings coming out behind us, and that's going to be GG. Caleb Arrakis evens up the score 2-2. In the top right corner, as the resurgent Dark Blue Zerg from Icebound Esports, it's Caleb Arrakis. And in the bottom left, he looked so dominant at the start of the series, but his body has betrayed him. As the Teal Zerg, it's Starkiller. I am surprised. Well, okay. So, I mean, this is the fake hatch first, right? He's going to Extractor Trick. He's going to drop a spawning pool. Pull some drones to look like he's mining, but this is going to be an all-in. Caleb Arrakis is doing Starkiller a favor and just straight up going pool first and all-inning. Let's come down to the final game of the final match. Starkiller is having some health issues, so he's like, I may have to FF in the middle of this game. I just want you guys to be prepared for that. I'm not... No, I hope he feels well. There's a healthy chunk of money on the line. Pearl and the other people who donated to this tournament were very generous. Every coupon was used up, to my knowledge. So, it's 2. We're going to fight to the last. Sixlings move out for Caleb. Starkiller sends a couple drones down. He's only building 4 lings. Okay, there's 6. Alright, he's gonna Ling Flood from here. I don't know why he's so oversaturated in his main. Oh, he's just pulling them back to defend. He saw the links coming across the map. That makes sense. Starkiller wins the Ling engagement. I think Caleb Arrakis had like an extra 2 links there, but Starkiller had better positioning. Caleb's going right into Lair. This is feeling to me like another Metalisk play. Starkiller mining on 2 gas to Caleb Arrakis' 1. However, Starkiller skipped Zergling speed. He's going right into Roach Warren. We have a pause. Poor Star Killer. What a twist. How do you guys like the ambient bug sounds? Feels dusk, right? Feels nighttime. What the fuck? What? What? Okay. All right. Weird flex, but okay, Star Killer. What the hell? It's not. I mean, okay. Like, did he actually just like burp for 3 minutes? Is that what we're expected to believe? What up, Nubius? How you doing tonight? We're in the grand finals of the NA versus Nippon Open. Uh, this is down to the wire. And Caleb Arrakis has dropped a Spire. A 10 Roach Rush is in the cards. As Star Killer prepares his charge. This push is late due to Star Killer's weight in Mutalisks. To these roaches will lay waste. The spines are up in time for Caleb Arrakis. Star Killer is bringing Zerglings around along with him. He's morphing in Ravagers. Star Killer stutter stepping in. But the spines are doing their job in buying time. Mutalisks are steadily pumping out damage. Drones have yet to fall. Caleb's actually going to pull his main mineral line. Everything will get cleaned up here for Starkiller. It's a question of how much damage can he do before that happens. Caleb Arrakis is cleaning up the first force, but Starkiller has more and more reinforcements coming cross-map. It's mostly Zerglings, though. He didn't build more roaches. He's teching behind this. He's gotten a lair. He's getting up 2 more gases. But I think Caleb Arrakis, despite taking a couple drones and damage, pulls out way ahead. He's going to go Overlord hunting now. Starkiller did anticipate this. He did make a bunch extra. Well, he made a couple extra, and then he lost all his units, so he dropped in supply, and he has, he has some wiggle room. GG is called. Caleb Arrakis takes the series 3-2 and is your Pearlescent Cup Grand Champion. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your caster today, Renegade. Someone else is going to be casting the OSC Masters Cup today. I don't know who, but I'll probably be back for that next week if they want to have me. My next tournament is going to be the EU Open at around 8 a.m. EDT, 5 a.m. Pacific.
Meow.
Thank you for the follow, young Chiva Chetta. So I'm going to find someone wholesome to raid. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Ready.